Jones, remove these snacks. I need a place to sit down.
June complained, but Jones totally ignored her, stuffing his face with the bowls of popcorn, chips, fruits, veggies, and hummus that he used to fill the whole sofa. June ran to the kitchen.
Mom, Jones won't create a space on a sofa for me and our show is about to start. What show?
Her mom asked.
Don't you know, Mom? It's December with the Galingtons.
Her mom rolled her eyes, went to the living room, and removed all the snacks from the sofa. They carried them and sat down. The show began. What they didn't know was that this year, December with the Galingtons was going to change the lives of the whole world forever, theirs included. Hello, my name is Martha Galington, and today, I'm going to be telling you about my crazy rich life and how I became a millionaire without anybody's help, despite the fact that I was still a cute, tiny baby. Before we proceed, hit the like button if you ever want to become a millionaire. Subscribe and turn on post notifications if you ever want to become a billionaire. Now, let's continue. I will start from the very beginning, when I was just a fetus in my mother's belly. So grab a popcorn and enjoy the ride. My family had a popular reality show called The Galingtons, where they shared their whole life, like normal reality TV. Some parts of it were acted, but people knew and still loved the show. The Galingtons was the most popular reality TV show in the whole world, and this made my parents and their whole family millionaires quickly. But my story is about how I became a millionaire without their help. Just my cuteness and some life circumstances. Every December, my family ran a special set of episodes called December with the Galingtons. This particular show was unfiltered. There was no acting, and everything was shot raw. It was more like a live TV show with no editing or anything like that. Our audience loved this segment, and even people who usually didn't watch our show throughout the year always tuned in for this one. On the third day of our special show that year, something unexpected happened. My mother, Brenda Galington, the richest and most popular of all the Galingtons, who was pregnant with me at the time, got into a terrible argument with her brother-in-law, Smart Galington. He had taken on our family name when he married my aunt.
You good-for-nothing fat woman!
He reacted.
Me?
My mom asked.
If anyone is a good for nothing here, it's you. Freaking gold digger.
On hearing the words gold digger, which was the worst thing you could ever call Smart, he picked up his muscular hand and gave my mom a life-changing punch. He obviously reacted without thinking and didn't take into consideration the fact that he was punching a pregnant woman. The pain triggered some pregnancy complications, and in less than 5 minutes, my mother was on the floor, shaking, and as everyone tried to lift her up and get her to the hospital, everything was being recorded and the whole world was watching. With the way my mom was shaking, everybody had almost given up on both of us. Nobody believed we would survive the hospital visit. Fans gathered around the hospital and did vigils. People around the world were praying for us and posting it on social media. The whole world went on a standstill, hoping and waiting for us to come out safely. The cameramen were everywhere and got everything. Some were downstairs recording the fans. Some were in the hospital room recording my mother in terrible pain. Some were getting all the prayer videos from social media and compiling them for live TV, while others followed and recorded Smart as he was arrested and taken to prison. After one long week of painful labor, my mother finally gave birth to a beautiful baby girl. The delivery process was caught on live TV, and the whole world was elated. Everyone had suggestions for my name. Strange names like Survivor and Strong Woman were flying around. My mom ignored everyone and said,
I'll call you Martha because you've proven that you're unique, just like your late great-great-grandmother. You will be her namesake.
While we were still at the hospital, brands and businesses already started reaching out, saying they wanted to work with me. I was assigned a manager who negotiated the offers and got the best deals for me. Before leaving the hospital, I was already worth $10 million personally. A few weeks after leaving, it became $50 million. Everyone wanted to work with me. Born as the most popular baby in the whole world, I had to struggle with the advantages and disadvantages of living in luxury. One of these disadvantages was from my uncle's family. Smart had been arrested immediately after the assault and was sentenced to jail for attempted murder. and was supposed to spend 10 years in prison, but 5 years with good behavior for almost killing one of the most famous celebrities in the whole world and her baby. His family hated the Galingtons for ruining his life and swore to get back at us. And they did. The next year, during another month of December with the Galingtons, they were able to break into the house. Somehow, they were able to spray a gas that sent everyone in our house to sleep. Once we were all asleep, they took me and left the country. When I woke up, I was so scared and confused. I was surrounded by strange-looking men, all wearing black, and I didn't even know where I was. I started wailing.
Shut that baby up!
The scariest one screamed. This guy was so huge, he literally looked like the Hulk. One of them picked me up from the carton I was placed in and started trying to cradle me. He smelled like sweat, smoke, and fear. I cried even more. He kept trying to keep me quiet, even got me a lollipop, but the more he tried, the more I cried. He got tired and wrapped a dirty cloth around my mouth, muffling my cries, dropped me back in the carton with a blanket and said,
"Now, be a good girl and you may just see your family again."
He winked and let out a loud laugh.
Nah, just kidding. You'll never see them again.
They all burst into laughter this time. Back at home, everyone had finally woken up. My mom walked drowsily to the nursery to pick me up, but I wasn't there. She immediately ran to the living room downstairs, hoping that someone in the family was holding me, but she couldn't find anyone. She found a letter instead.
Brenda, we've taken your dear Martha. Now you'll know what it feels like to lose someone. If you want to see your stupid baby again.
Bring 10 billion to Venezuela. I will know when you arrive. I don't know how you're gonna do it, but I'm sure you can.
You're the richest person I know. Sell your house or something. You have 3 days.
My mom fainted and woke up in the hospital.
What? What's happening?
She asked, confused. My dad was holding her hand.
B, you know you're accident prone. You fainted and hit your head on a table. You started bleeding and we had to rush you here. I read the letter they dropped, and I've taken a loan from the bank. We'll figure out how to pay it back later. I'm leaving for Venezuela with a jet immediately. I don't think you should come with us. You need to rest. It will be very dangerous. We can't predict what will go down.
Mom laughed out loud.
You must be kidding. Get my clothes.
Dad smiled and got her clothes.
You're too stubborn, but I love you anyway. Now, let's go get our girl.
And with that, they left for Venezuela, Dad holding Mom and caressing her bandaged head. Immediately, they arrived at the private airport. A few guys surrounded them. One of them said,
Hand me the suitcase.
We will only do that when our daughter is safely delivered to us.
My dad replied. The guy smirked.
You like to play, huh?
Another guy interrupted and said,
Follow me, sir and ma'am.
He led them into a black SUV and blindfolded them. My dad held on to the money suitcase for dear life. He didn't want anyone dragging it from his hands because he couldn't see a thing. The car later stopped and they were ushered into some place. The blindfolds were finally taken off and they realized that they'd been taken to a rooftop. Dean, Smart's elder brother, smirked at them.
Mr. and Mrs. Galington, richest couple in the world, right? Where's my money?
Where's my baby?
My mom asked.
Dean, what's all this about? We used to be friends. You didn't need to go this far. You can stop all this now, and we will forgive you for everything.
My dad tried, honestly concerned for Dean.
I want my baby.
My mom screamed.
Shut up, you two. Friends. Friends send each other to prison, right? Have you even cared to know just how our family has been surviving since you got him incarcerated? We're not friends. We will never be, so just be quiet. Hand me the money and you'll get Martha.
Sally, Smart's sister, came out from a hidden door. She was holding me. My mouth was still covered with a dirty cloth. My mom tried to run towards me, but Dean stopped her.
Money first,
he interjected. My mom grabbed the suitcase from my dad and ran towards Dean. She gave him the money and started running towards me, a huge, relieved smile on her face. Before she could get to me, though, I felt myself being swung. I was thrown from the roof of a skyscraper down to my death.
No!
My dad and mom screamed in unison, but before they could do anything, they were both shot twice in the chest and tumbled downward.
This is for Smart!
They screamed as they shot my only parents. The kidnappers followed a secret passageway that led to an underground tunnel. From there, they were able to sneak a few blocks away until they got to the spot where their car was parked. They got into the car and sped off, heading to the airport. On getting to the airport, they were confronted by the police, who handcuffed them and recovered the stolen money from them. The money was sent back to the bank. The kidnappers were arrested and sent back to the United States for questioning and trial. On the first day of trial, they all kept denying what they did.
What in the world makes you think that we could ever commit such an offense? She's our niece, for crying out loud. We could never hurt her.
Sally kept repeating.
But you can hurt her parents, shooting them twice in the chest?
Our lawyer asked. Sally rolled her eyes and said,
I could never hurt those fools, as much as they deserve it.
December with the Galingtons cameramen were covering the whole trial process, and the whole world was saying that the kidnappers should be hanged or electrocuted for killing their favorites.
Are you aware, Sally, that there were some cameramen that covered the whole incident? You were actually caught on camera killing a whole family.
Our lawyer asked again. Sally, Dean, and Michael looked at each other, sheer panic written on their faces. It took Sally a few seconds to regain her composure, but then she did and said,
Everyone knows reality TV shows are heavily edited. They can put anything in there.
Our lawyer laughed.
Even in December with the Galingtons? A live show? Come on, Miss Sally.
Of course.
Sally replied.
The technological advancements these days are crazy.
It was finally time to cross-examine Michael, the last brother and kidnapper, the evil dude who put a dirty cloth around my mouth to make me stop crying and the dumbest one in Smart's family. As he was about to speak, my parents came inside the courtroom carrying me. They were all unbelievably astounded.
What are you?
Are you ghosts?
How are you alive?
We killed you all!
There. Mr. Lawyer, I guess you have your confession.
My mom smiled and left with her family. Smart's siblings were convicted of conspiracy, breaking an entry, kidnapping a minor, extortion, armed robbery, and attempted murder. They were each given life sentences. Smart wasn't given a life sentence because he wasn't aware of the conspiracy. Apparently, the kidnappers didn't know that my parents were wearing bulletproof vests, so the bullets couldn't kill them because the vests stopped them. They also didn't know that my parents were wearing mics in their teeth, so the cops could hear everything. Immediately, the cops realized that my parents were at a rooftop. They suspected that someone would end up falling or being thrown off, most likely the baby, me. And so, they surrounded the building with a soft, bouncy foam. It was more like a bouncing castle outside the building. I fell right into this stuff, and I was saved. There was absolutely no scratch on my body. A cop gently picked me up, removed the dirty cloth from my mouth, and took me to my parents, who had gotten the bullets out of their vests. They were so happy, but my kidnappers had already fled.
Never worry, sir and ma'am. My team at the airport and all around have been informed. They're on the lookout. Your daughter's kidnappers will be arrested in no time.
We were all safe, sound, and without a scratch. But guess what the best part was? The whole world watched everything as it unfolded because it was December. This made me even more popular. I was on the news in every country. Netflix contacted my family. They wanted to make a movie out of my life, and they wanted me and my family to act out exactly how it happened. You know we accepted. We were paid millions upon millions. More brands wanted to work with me, and every interviewer wanted to hear my story, even as I grew up and got older. In a very short time, I moved from being worth millions to being worth billions. Did you enjoy my crazy story? Tell me your favorite part in the comments section. Please like and subscribe for more amazing content, and don't forget to watch another mind-blowing story on our channel. We have a lot of them. And that's it for me. Ciao for now. Me. Ciao for now. Me.